Get ready. It's time. Christina, Catherine, Lisa, Amy, and Lauren. Welcome to the Cimorelli podcast.
Hey, I'm Christina.
I'm Catherine.
I'm Amy.
I'm Lauren.
And we're Cimorelli. Welcome back to
the Cimorelli podcast. Woo!
I'm so excited for this episode.
This is a wild episode, guys.
Gosh.
This is episode 133. Yes, we've done 132 episodes. This is our 133rd. This episode is Patreon fully and YouTube mostly. So if you want to see our whole conversation today, head on over to our Patreon and join us there for $5 a month. It is a great purchase. The great people of Patreon would say. You know. Today, we're going to do something interesting, guys. We're going to be telling our theoretical parenting rules on different topics such as sleepovers, parties, curfews, stuff like that. And I'm saying theoretical because this is for teenagers and none of us have a teenager. So we're going to say what we think we're going to do. Once again, we might be eating our words in 18 years. Who knows? I don't know. It'll be interesting. I will have you watch this back when your children are teenagers.
I'll be a while.
Hey,
and
you know
then
what?
I'll be like,
I'm just going to say right now, I might not be that like that when I actually have teenagers. I think I thought so many things like, oh, this is exactly what I'm going to do as a new mom. And I was so wrong on a lot of things.
Yeah.
So I'm very open to the fact that everything I say might be wrong.
this is just like what you think you're going to do. This is, we saw this a lot on TikTok.
Yeah.
And like people
we
would
have ideas.
take the list and they'd be like, okay, this is what I think I'm going to do for this. Well, actually, they say this is what I think.
I would love to watch what people say. That's always fun to hear people's opinions.
It's kind of fun. I think it's so interesting.
We should read the list. Laura, you want to read the list so people know what's to come? And the end of this list is what will be on the Patreon only episode. If you want to see the whole list, you're going to go. And then the second half of the list will be next week's episode. We're doing two because we know we're going to talk too long.
Do you want me to read the whole list right now?
Yeah, you can say this one's this week's episode and this one's next week's.
This week's episode, we're talking about parties, grades, curfew, dating, drinking/vaping/smoking in one, piercings/tattoos. Next week, we're talking about clothes, sleepovers, cursing, chores, going to boys' houses, and cell phone/social media.
Okay.
Doesn't that seem a little anti-woman that it's going to boys' houses? What about boys going to girls' houses?
I don't know. That's just what it said. I just copied and pasted.
Okay.
I don't know what you want.
That out.
Okay. So before we get into these interesting rules or what we think we're going to do, we're going to go with our highs and our lows. You know, like an icebreaker of sorts. You know, break the ice. So who would like to tell us their highs and lows first?
What was that song?
It was, do we get copyright strike for saying the name of a song?
No.
Break the Ice by Britney Spears.
Oh, I don't think that's
From
how it
that
goes.
one album?
Yeah, I know the song. Yeah, it's more like that.
Yeah. Anyway,
highs and lows.
I didn't do Britney justice. I'm
highs
sorry.
and lows.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Oh, I had one.
His in-laws.
And I lost it. What was it?
Sorry,
Oh,
I'm being Lisa. She always sits in the end. She always eats. I just had to eat this, so we had to start. So I'm
love
just
to
doing
see
it. It's not very fun though, because I have to like lean away.
Yeah, don't chew into the mic.
Oh.
I lost my memory.
Okay, I'll go. My high is gonna sound so annoying and pretentious, so just to me it is. I cringe at myself on the daily. Because guys, this is so annoying. I went and took a towel and I read under a tree like a pretentious little rat.
What? That's
How
not
is that
pretentious.
pretentious?
It that's what I'm saying. It's just a little to
Reading
me.
under a tree.
I don't know.
It's like a Disney movie.
It's like classic
Yeah.
human
It's
existence.
so annoying. I just
Kath.
I had a great time
That is the
though.
most classic thing.
I went out and because I was wondering like, what am I gonna do for fall once my pool is gone? And that's
A
what I'm gonna
tree.
do. It was really
Love
fun.
it.
It was really nice. And then I came back and then I read more in my backyard, which was like really nice. It was a really great time. So that was my high because it was so like I literally felt my whole being just relax, and I was like, whoa.
You're like, this is it.
I love it. I was like, this is the pool feeling. I'm getting it. I just have to be outside and I have to be reading and I have to have music. That's what I have to do. So it was really nice. And I took some pictures with like a filter though that made everything look a lot more orange than it was. To, hashtag romanticize your life,
wow.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
Is that
I
kind
know.
of like the fall vibe? The orange?
Yeah.
Got it.
And then
I
what
like to
was
romanticize my
my
life.
low?
What was my low?
Let's think. Low. I just feel like men have been in a flop era. So I think that's my low.
Wait, what?
They just have been.
Men have been in their flop era.
You mean like all men in the world?
No, just lately the men that I've interacted with have just been in their flop era.
Sometimes, Amy, I think I'm aging out of you having such trendy lingo. I sometimes have to pause for a moment and be like, okay, I think I know what that means.
You know, you've been in there. That you know, when
You've
you're
been
like
in your
out
flop
in the,
era.
in the trenches, and you're like, men are in their flop era right now.
Or is it you?
It could be me. I don't know. Somehow things are just
Drawn to the
flopping.
flop.
Oh,
Could be
no.
either way.
I'm like, what was my flop era?
Like the dating apps, everything is just flopping. For
I think it
the
was
moment.
younger. I think I had a flop era in my teens, like 14.
I think my flop era was when I was 17 and this guy that I really liked
Flop era.
gave me flowers and they were so nice for Valentine's Day and a homemade card and I am a literal horrible person. I liked him. I was so scared though that I was like,
fear will do crazy
we'll
things to
accept
us.
this Valentine as a friend.
Even though you liked him.
I liked him.
That is flop era.
That is a flop
I
era.
went to the gym that day and I was like, why did I do that? I don't know.
I wonder if we
what's
could do an
wrong with me.
episode.
on flop
being in
eras.
flop eras. That's kind
Might
of
be
fun.
interesting.
Oh, man,
now that
that'd be
I'm
good.
like, what are my
Good
biggest
times.
flop
Bad times.
eras?
I like it.
Yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
fun.
I don't know. Nothing's just been hitting lately. Everything is just kind of like the men are just kind of like, huh.
Okay, I'm gonna take
I
that
don't even
and
have
roll
a
with
crush.
it.
I'm just bored.
That my low is that the twins were in their flop era. no, they're actually really shining lately. They're not in a flop
sleeping
era.
flop era, though?
Yes. So the twins, moms will know. Mom, if you know, you know. They're kind of in this weird time where they're still taking 2 naps a day, and I think they still need to. But every once in a while, they'll skip the second nap, and it is horrifying. They skipped the second nap a couple days ago, and they each woke up 2 times in the night and in a row with each other. So I was up 4 times, and I was like, I feel like
That
I'm
is
a
a
newborn
flop
again.
era. That's a flop era.
The next morning, I was like,
Flop era for sure.
so yeah, that was my low. But my high is that they're really not in their flop era. And I just think the twins in general right now are in such a fun time where they're like, Leo is like putting a blanket on his head and then going, ha, 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 like, oh, I disappeared. And like,
Oh, that's so
like
cute.
he like thinks it's funny that he's like playing peekaboo with himself. And like he and Dom they'll play hide and seek with each other. Which is so cute. One of them will start crawling away really fast and then turn around and be like, did you see me? And then they'll start laughing and then they'll crawl really fast again and then like go behind the ledge and then peek out. It's so cute. So
Oh, Kath, I love
I
that.
just like sit there and watch them
That's
play.
for
and
sure
it's the
not a
cutest-
flop era.
Yeah, it's
that's
so
a
cute.
major step.
Definitely
Okay.
not.
So cute. Oh, that's the best.
Love to
best
see
thing
it.
ever.
They're in their friendship era.
They are. Yeah.
I can't really think of a specific low. I probably have one. But I'll just say my low is every morning when I wake up
Every morning
before I go on my walk. I've been
yeah.
going to walk every morning, which
Love to see
is
it.
great. But the low is when I get up because I'm waking up at like 7, guys. Okay?
Lauren!
Which for me is a big deal.
Wait, like with an
Don't
alarm or just your
laugh,
boss?
Sorry.
laugh.
Hey, I can't laugh because I didn't wake up
Take
that early for a
yourself
long
back
time.
in time.
Yeah.
When
That
you
was
were
early
me.
back in the
Okay,
day.
not
Back
you.
in time for
you,
me.
yeah, you always woke up at 1
I
a.m.
just wake up at like 8.
But
Wait, so what? Like with an alarm or like naturally?
yes, an alarm.
With an alarm? Oh, you have to
Okay,
do
but
the-
it's annoying
the old
waking
alarm.
I
up.
hate alarms.
But I
hate
do
them.
it anyway because it feels way better the whole rest of the day. So
for
that's
you.
my low. My high was actually, I would say last night. You were there. Well, you weren't there, but we were in a
We
group
met in
chat.
the back. Oh,
No. We were in a group chat that was just popping off.
It was intense.
It was like 8 of us, 8 girls that were all just.
We were riding for the girls at dawn.
Okay, wait, let me just
what?
tell. We were all ganging up basically on this guy. Well, the guy wasn't in the group chat. Okay, so we were just talking about this guy who wronged one of the girls. And it was just so
It was
funny.
wild.
Like everyone was texting at the same time. It was like 10:30. It was just like bam, 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 buzz, buzz, buzz. And I don't know, everyone was not in their flop era. And everyone was being so
Slaying.
funny. And it was just a great time. Like, you know, when the group chat's just popping off and it's just so funny. You just sit there.
I was dead.
Not
It's so
really.
fun.
It was really funny.
Not really.
I feel like I'm not in very many group chats.
You're in a group
that
chat
pop
with
off.
us. We don't pop off.
Sometimes we do.
Think of the past.
I feel like that happens in
Go
real
back
life
in time.
for us.
Yeah.
Maybe? Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. Now I can think of some times
When it goes bzz, bzz,
when
bzz,
everyone's
and you're
saying
like,
hilarious things.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hilarious roast.
And
and
It's a
such.
great time.
Yeah, it just there's a certain kind of energy that comes when the women ride for each other at dawn. Like
Yeah, it's just so
especially
funny.
when there's like one has been wronged. It's just a wild energy.
Love it.
Love that.
Okay,
Me
you.
trying to get situated. Okay, so Milo. Yeah, Milo is the morning before I get up. Also, because that's when I'm like, can I live another day? Then I get up, I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
I get that.
At first, I'm like, oh, because I want a little bit more sleep. She's going back to sleep right now. So, excuse her. She's only a child.
Yeah, excuse
Yeah,
her.
excuse her. She's only what 1.5 months old.
Let's see. My high is that Tristan is really like smiley and
So cute.
fun.
She's so adorable.
Aw.
And it's very awesome to see. I'm trying to get her to sleep right now. She just needs a little bit of bouncing.
Yeah, you got home today, and then Barrett's like, "Mama, mama," and then he goes, "Sister, baby, sister, baby, sister," and then he was like done with you.
That's another high that Barrett's like, Barrett's baby. He thinks she's his baby.
Barrett's baby. Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, it's amazing. Barrett is so good with her, and he's so happy to have a sister. It's amazing.
Okay, so next we have our 5 perspectives. It's 4 because Lisa is on leave, as we have not mentioned this episode yet, but Lisa is caring for her husband who's going through treatment for cancer right now, so she is on a leave of absence, but she'll be back.
Keep their family in your prayers.
Your prayers, guys. But in the meantime, you can be Lisa and comment your POV below. So today's POV, guys, is how old were you when you went on your first date, and do you think it was a good age?
Trying to think.
Well, what would
was
we
my first
define?
date?
Do you think? Okay, do you guys
my
think?
God.
No, 'cause seriously,
define?
do you think date is the first time you hung out with a guy you liked,
Or when it was more like a
No,
date.
it was a
or
date.
did they like
your
actually
first
like
date.
ask you on a date? Like, oh, I want to go on a date.
Whatever you define as your first date.
Okay, okay.
Because like hanging out is not necessarily a date.
Well, then in my case, then I would say 21. Because none of those rats said like, do you want to go on a date? They were just like, oh, let's hang out because we're a thing. We're not going to define it. So I would say 21 because that was when a guy called me and said, I would like to take you out to dinner like a man.
Oh,
And so 21. And I think,
think that was a good age. Too
I mean-
young.
no. I mean, I'd hung out with guys I liked before, but I think that was a good time because it was like, oh, like I felt like I was old enough that I really enjoyed it. And like, I don't know. I think it was good.
Mine, I think I was 16.
Cute.
I think that was a good age. We went bowling, had a good time.
I remember that.
It was chill.
Not that I was there. I just remember it happening.
I thought it was a good time for me personally to venture in to the dating pool.
I think
The dating lane.
yes. I was 19, and I thought that's a fine age. I don't really know. I was just horribly terrified,
Oh, I remember that.
so bad. But when you gotta do it
I
someday.
remember that.
Leaving before.
Yeah, for sure.
I just remember from mine that he took us to this nice restaurant and I wore a hoodie and jeans and Vans.
Oh,
I was
Typical you, Cap.
he was-
I want to be friends, actually. I'm going to wear a hoodie to our dates. You don't get the wrong idea.
He was wearing a nice sweater and
Kath
like
was in her
khakis,
flop
and I was
era.
like, "Hello, here's me in my hoodie and jeans."
Kath was on her flop era,
Rip.
ladies.
For some
I remember
reason,
that. You were wearing the navy blue white striped one.
Yes, I remember that. I remember
just
that
do.
night too. Wait, is that the one you had an allergic reaction?
Yeah, right?
Because it's iconic.
You guys know too much.
It's just iconic.
man, I don't remember that. I'm having a hard time remembering which was what age. I think I was 17. And I guess it was good age. I feel like I just had no clue what was going on at 17, even though I thought I had a clue. I feel like I was very confused about what.
I feel like on
What's
your
going
first
on?
date, you're never going to have a clue what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless you're 21.
But in life, you have more of a clue at 21 than 16. Just
Yeah,
in
that's
general.
true.
Like,
I did not have any clue.
Yeah, I guess it was a good age. I mean, it wasn't bad.
Okay.
So 17. I remember so many of my friends were like dating so much younger. I remember in middle
Oh
school,
my gosh,
people
they're
were
like
dating.
10. I got a boyfriend. I'm like, all right.
How do you?
I did feel like the oldest person in the world, I remember,
Oh, so old.
to not have dated. But that
You do
wasn't
feel a little
true.
old.
Yeah, it's messed up.
Okay, so now, guys, now that we answered our POVs, give yours too if you would like to. we're going to get on to our main topic, our topic of conversation. And Lauren, are you going to be leading us today in our topic?
She has the
Sure.
list.
Because you led us
I'll do
last
it.
time and it was fun.
All right.
Do it,
So
Laura.
Lauren's going to lead us.
Yeah, this
Explain
is
it a bit more.
Okay. I'm getting to it. This is our parenting rules. So basically, I'm going to say a category. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And everyone's going to say what rules they have about said category.
Yeah.
All right?
This is just
So-
what we think we'll have for our future
None
children.
of us have teenagers.
You guys
but-
know.
I'm nervous.
It's just a game. It's just for fun, okay? We're going to go down the line to make it more
I just gotta say, I'm
Easy
terrified of
to
having
take in.
teens. That's
I
really
know.
All right,
such a hard
all right.
time in life. Oof.
We're starting off strong. The first category is parties.
Oof.
what are going to be your rules for parties?
Can they go? Can they not go? Can they go to some? Can
What
they go
kind
to
of
none?
parties do we?
What kind of party?
Well, you don't know. You're going to ask them. You got to rely on what
You're
they
a
tell
kid.
you.
Okay, here's the scenario. You're a kid. Hello, mom.
Dom and Leo walk up. Hey, lady.
Like, we want to go to this party.
Can I go to this party?
My angel.
Oh my
on
gosh, and
Friday?
then Barrett will be
Where
like,
is
oh, can I
it?
go with too? All
Yeah.
three of them rolling
Where
up to
is
the
it?
party
Oh.
together with
It's like,
Tristan
will Barrett
in tow.
be there?
Okay.
Okay, who wants to go? Should we go online? Amy, go
Yeah.
first.
Can they go?
Yes.
Or do you have
What's your
rules about
rules?
it?
Here's my thing. Each and every child of mine will have a lot of knowledge about safety
I can imagine.
because you
can
need to have
imagine.
safety in this world. And I know you're a teen and you think you know everything. Yeah, I get it. But you need
say
to know how to safely interact in these situations. So, like, yeah, you can go. I don't want you out too late, and you will have a lot of, you know, safety tips. Like if you see people doing certain things, or if you're like, this
Leave.
person looks creepy.
He's like,
to
here are the
me.
tips.
Or like, you know, trust your instincts.
He's like, remember the tips. Trust your
yes,
instincts.
literally, them leaving the door. Remember to trust your instincts.
I mean, I'm exactly the same. Though,
Because
so.
like I want them to be able to go because it's like it's fun and you're like you want to experience things unless they're a nerd like me never got invited to any. I would love that scenario, but I also don't want to. I don't wish that upon them.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. In my soul, I'm like, do not go to anything like that. Just like, from my past experiences and like, why were any of us there? Why were people doing these things that they're doing? Danger, danger, danger. But I
Danger.
do know that like, it's like if you tell them they can't go, they're probably just going to go behind your back.
Yeah,
And I'm like, I don't really want that. So I don't know. Because I feel like I would feel so stressed just letting them go off into the lion's den.
now what if you were like
Terrifying.
tracking them, like if you had Life 360 or something?
You know when kids do
Ooh,
weird
it's
stuff with
so
that
scary.
though? They like leave their phone
No,
or
yeah,
have
that's-
someone like log in, whatever.
I feel like I would need some sort of safety protocol
scares
where like, okay, you can go if you go with, if they have this, a responsible sibling or friend. Like you need to have someone
Like
that's
a buddy?
like a buddy. You're not going by yourself with your
That's a
random
good
friends you
point.
just met or someone you don't know. Like,
like
not doing that. You need to go with someone that like I can trust. But I don't know, guys. Like it would be so hard to be like, yes, you can go.
I would love to have my child live text updating me, like live tweeting the situation, like, oh my gosh, I saw this, I saw that. I would love that. It's not gonna happen, but it would just be so fun.
You never know.
I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh my
so-
gosh, you know what? I have a gift with teens. Teens do love to tell me
Maybe
their stuff about their lives.
They will be close.
Who knows?
Kat?
I think there's so many variables in this scenario that it depends on. So, like, first of all, whose house is this at? Do we know this person?
Yeah, that's
What's
true.
their
Are
family
parents
like?
home
Yeah.
or not home?
Right. Generally, like, I kind of want to know, like, who are the people my children are hanging out with, and are they like, sound people, or are they not great? I'm kind of leaning towards yes, just because, like, I feel like the harder you like try to control your kids, the more they rebel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like you, as a parent, you try your best to shape your kids, instill good values in them. But at the end of the day, they're teenagers. They're almost 18. They're going to be moving out on their own in the world. And I feel like if you're just like, I will keep them from all the bad things, it's like they're probably going to
can't.
want them even more. And I'm like, I'm just hoping that I did a good job of like instilling good choices. And they're teens too. They're not always going to make good choices. Like, it's just hormones. It's just crazy time. I'm also kind of hoping, I have a unique situation because I have twins. And I'm kind of hoping that at least one of them will be
Hopefully
like
at least one.
a good guy. And then I'm like, just go with your brother. And then hopefully he'll be like, we shouldn't do
Dom's
that.
aura is already
let's
like,
just hope one of
what
them is going to be really
are you
sensible.
Dom's aura is already like, what are you doing?
Dom is very dominating. So let's just hope that he leads in a good direction.
But here's the other thing. It's
I
like, you think your kid is going to tell you if they're going, okay, there's some like crazy wild party that's being planned and they know it's going to be wild. There's not going to be parents. They know that. They're not going to tell you, like, you're like, hey, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to my friend Brittany's house. They're not going to Brittany's house. Will there be alcohol? No. Are their parents home? Yes. Their parents are not going to be home.
Yeah.
There's going to be alcohol and what else?
But
whatever the heck else.
Lie to you?
Yeah.
Yes. Because their crush is there. They desperately want to see them.
But I'm saying if they're
Try to
with
live
someone,
life.
like I think the buddy system is good. Is they're with a sibling or someone who's like trustworthy,
Also-
or they have a friend who has a good head on their shoulders. They're going with. You know,
I
it's
feel like having a
I
curfew
don't know.
does try to mitigate that. So it's like if you're back by a certain time,
No,
usually the more
because,
horrible things
oh,
happen after that time.
I'm sleeping
true.
over at my friend's
No,
house,
there's no-
which
no,
is
we're
We're
another
getting to
thing.
sleepovers. We're getting to sleepovers. That's a good
Look,
point.
if you're sleeping over at your friend's house, your friend's parents will text me when you get home on time. That's
Or
what's gonna happen.
people pull a trick and they have their friend's mom called. I have just and they're
What? This, I
and
really
it's
hope.
not okay. Whatever.
Kath, teens are gonna be teens, unfortunately.
I know. I'm
so
just
wait,
saying
actually,
that's
my rule. I
Yeah,
don't
let's
exactly
hear
know.
it.
Yeah, it's just it sucks because you know that your teens are most likely not an Amy situation, most likely though, gonna be in dangerous situations. But you would say you
Not
avoid
in
them,
me.
right? Did you
Yeah.
avoid them?
Yes.
Like you've
I
never
avoided
been
them too.
I did
Okay,
not.
you have both
I
never
didn't
been.
really
in
wanna
that's
go
great, and
to
that's
those
what
types of things.
that's what I would hope. But that's not.
well, Chris,
realistic?
you're gonna raise popular children, unfortunately
Yeah,
for you.
I was not friends with the
I'm a
popular
nerd.
people. I was friends with the more fringe people.
Yeah, but you
And
still
we
get in
didn't. They
dangerous
didn't really
positions.
have like crazy parties or anything. I don't think I was even really invited that I can
See, yeah,
remember.
me-
See, that's great. Mom never had to stay up worrying.
Yeah, and I didn't really
About
want to
you.
do bad stuff.
Bro, I would be worried.
I was pretty like straight and narrow.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's, you know, that your teens are going to be most likely in dangerous situations at least once, if not sometimes multiple.
Yeah.
It's weird. Yeah. It's just when you think about parties and you think about how there are literally, it just sucks that there are literally boys running around at parties who their sole goal is to prey on a young girl.
Yeah.
And that's a reality of high school
You
age.
have to teach your children that too.
That's terrifying. They're just literally trying to get a girl under some sort of influence of some sort of substance
Literally.
and take advantage of her. Not all,
that's not
thank
cool,
goodness,
bro.
teen boys, but that is a reality that is out there. And then there are teens who are drunk driving and driving under the influence of other substances. That's terrifying, thinking
Yeah.
about car accidents. But when I think of like myself as a teen, I'm like, I'm not going to get in the car with that person, whatever. But I'm like, plenty of
I will
people
say,
would.
like, as a mother of two sons, that is one of my number one goals that I'm really hoping I can instill in my sons is a respect for women.
I know.
really
I think
hope
about that all the
that
time.
They would be the boys that would be like just keeping like a good eye on other girls around them and just like I don't know, like being protective more
Yes.
instead of like trying to take advantage.
Being a psycho.
I really
yeah,
hope so.
that's what scares me the most to think about, like the danger,
agree with that.
all the dangers. And it's like there's just so many dangerous things that happen. I mean, at least I'm thinking of a lot of teen situations that either I was in or my friend got in or my other friend got in. And it's like really terrifying to think about.
Yeah.
I even think of this one girl, she was a lot younger than me. I think she was 3 years younger than me. And she had like, she was like experiencing alcohol poisoning at this party, but they didn't
I
want
remember
to,
that.
they didn't want to,
Call the like EMS or people.
yeah, they didn't want to call 911. And she was like, it was what they were saying was happening to her was terrifying. Thinking she was actually like, could have been dying, but they're like, we don't want to get in trouble.
oh
so I guess,
my god, she can just die. No
yeah,
one
it's
will
like, we don't
notice.
want to get in trouble. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Everyone's like walking around and the influence are like, are they noticing? Like, are they going to be in, they're not in their right mind where they make a good choice. So, okay, what's my rule? What's my rule? I don't know. My rule is like, I guess a curfew is a good plan, which we are going to talk about curfews. I can't, okay. I'm not going to be the super strict parent who's like, you can't do this, that, and the other thing, because I already know that creates really sneaky children. I know, we've all grown up with kids like that. That wasn't me. I didn't really have rules very much as a teen. I didn't really have a curfew either. It's kind of weird. So yeah, I kind of want to emulate that in a way.
I did not, because I didn't go anywhere.
Didn't. Mom said, don't come home too late. I'm like, okay.
I don't really remember having a curfew.
Yeah. So I don't know what the rule is.
I didn't go anywhere. Mom would probably be happy for me if I went somewhere.
It's you have a curfew, and the main thing is that I want to have a relationship established with my child that they do feel comfortable. Like Nick and I were talking about this last night. We were saying the number one thing we're scared about is their safety, and that we really want, I know parents always say this, we really want them to be able to come to us, and you have to like walk the walk. If you're going to do that, like you can't be like really judgy and strict, overly strict, and expect them to come to you.
Yeah.
So we're going to be like firm with things, but I'm not planning on being like wildly strict about things, and Nick isn't either. So that's my rule is you're going to have a curfew and
Safety lectures.
I'm probably going to let you go, and I'm hoping that you're going to be smart. And maybe I'll be like checking in on you. I don't know.
Yeah.
But not in like a way.
Will be
I don't know. It's so scary to think about.
Yeah.
That terrifies me. I don't want anything to happen to them. Okay, next.
Okay.
People can heal from things that
Next
happen as well.
topic. Yes. Next topic is grades.
Grades.
This is an
I really
interesting topic.
Wait, what?
okay.
What are your rules?
Your child,
Yeah.
unless my child is like really trying to get into like a really prestigious thing where they need to have top of the line, grades or whatever. If they want to set that bar for themselves, I will help them, but I don't care what your grades are as long as you're not failing stuff. And if you are failing stuff, we need to just kind of work on that. Like the world is not like life is not that serious as people put the stress on grades to be, if that makes any sense at all. I just don't really care. Like as long as you're learning the material, I don't care what your grades are. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really get this question that much. I guess
think that's
people have
homeschoolers.
rules of like you must get these grades or like you get your phone taken away or something. As
straight
a
A's.
homeschooler, its grades are a lot different.
Yeah.
So I don't really know. I plan on homeschooling my children and not being super like grade focused. So I don't think I have rules about that. It's more just like I would like to try to educate you. And if you have like some trouble learning, like we'll do our best to work on that. Like, I don't know. I feel like punishing a kid for not being like smart enough is kind of strange to me.
It could be like they're thinking, which this is not me at all, but they're like, you didn't do the homework.
Oh, like you're
Why
a
didn't you do
slacker.
it?
Oh, if you didn't do the homework,
There's probably
You
a
might-
deeper issue there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a deeper problem.
That's what I was going to say is like, I'm definitely going to homeschool my sons. I definitely want to. I don't know. Maybe that'll change when they get to high
There
school.
could be
but
grades with what they're doing.
there could be grades. I always think what's the deeper issue? Because I'm like,
Yes.
in my mind, I'm like, okay, maybe it's like you're just not really a science guy.
Maybe they're deeply
it's
depressed.
Or I was going to say maybe it's depression. Maybe they're having a hard time focusing because they're really troubled with some kind of issue going on.
Yes.
So I would really, my bigger concern would be like if they're really failing like all their classes or something, like
What's going on?
let's figure out what's going on. Maybe like mental health support or like maybe some tutoring if you need extra help. Like maybe there's learning disability that's undiagnosed. Like trying to get to the root of the problem. And I don't know. I just don't really care about straight A's. I just think that's very like, my child went to this school and they're so impressive. It's like, I don't really care about that. I know some parents do. And I think, no offense, but I think that's kind of more about the parent than it is about the child.
yeah, because my children's grades are for my children. They're not my grades. I'm not the
think-
one in school.
I think
But
another
who
reason.
wouldn't know that by some parents act.
I think another reason is like financial issues, though. They might be
yeah.
like, I really need, which that's a lot of pressure for your kid. Like, you really need to get scholarships.
Yeah, but
You need to get good
But
grades.
I don't know about what's different states, but in Tennessee, there's a lot of free college programs.
No,
You
I
can
don't
do
agree
community
with
college.
Yeah.
There's a lot of state schools. They have great financial aid. Like, I don't know. I feel like if you don't care about prestigious as much, you can get an education affordably in a lot of places.
Which we grew up. So we grew up in a place that with a lot of kids. A lot of my friends, they had a lot of pressure on them.
Yeah.
I think most of my friends were like, I have straight A's, and there was a lot of pressure. They'd get in big trouble if they didn't get an A, maybe like a B. I don't know, but they would get in a lot of trouble. which to me, I mean, they were really stressed about it, and that sucks. I didn't experience that, but yeah, I would not have that for my kids at all. Like, there's not a reason for me, like you need to get whatever grades. Same thing as you guys. There's no rules for grades.
Yeah, it's just really
a deeper
sad.
issue
It's
I
like,
care about.
we live in a society where there's so much pressure on kids to become
Way too
high
much.
achievers at a young age when they're just kids. They should have a childhood. They should have fun. They should have free time instead of doing all this extra homework for hours on end. Like, that is literally robbing them of their childhood, which only comes once in a lifetime. And I think that time is important for kids to be able, that's one of the biggest reasons I would like to homeschool, is because you can get the work done in a certain amount of time and not have all this homework at the end of the day. They can do extracurriculars, they can do music, they can do other things. Like,
Yeah.
I want my kids to have a childhood and to not feel so much pressure all the time.
Crippling pressure.
Yeah. Oh my
All right,
gosh,
what's
it's
the
so
next?
sad.
All right, next is curfew.
Oh, homie,
Perfect.
I'm going to do what my mom
like a
did
judge.
and go with the legal curfew is
Oh, that's a good
11
idea.
until you're 12. Until you're 18, then it's 12. Until you're 12.
You're 12.
Then it's 12.
Wait, that's a really good idea.
legal curfew?
Wait, is that
do we have
every
that
state?
here?
Is
we have that
until
here?
you're
I'm
18.
gonna
There's
search
like
that.
a legal, isn't there a legal curfew for 17 under is like 11 p.m.
Yeah,
Yeah,
look that
but
up
what do you
here.
mean when you're
When you're 18,
When you're 18.
it doesn't, you don't have a legal curfew anymore.
Oh.
So then it's like, I meant.
Can you look it up
know.
if we have one in Tennessee?
It's 11 until.
I had to abide by it.
I think that's
It
a
was
good
11.
idea. It's like, it's the law.
Because it's like, I don't want you, like, if you get pulled over at a certain time. Like,
Yeah.
if
In Tennessee,
you-
it says someone is 17 or 18 years old. They can't be out in public past 11 p.m. Sorry, the 18 is right above it. Monday through Thursday, or 12 a.m. Friday through Saturday.
Okay, that makes sense.
On the
12 on the
weekends.
weekends, 11. No offense, my children. You have to get up early for school in the week. We're not staying out late in the week. I would say a weekly curfew would be probably 10.
Yeah.
And then weekends you can do 12.
Is 12 pushing
go
or
ham.
no?
Thanks for listening to the Cimorelli podcast. To hear the rest of this episode, join our Patreon at patreon.com/Cimorelli, where we post every episode in full. You can also watch all of our past seasons and Patreon-only episodes when you become a patron.
You've been listening to the Cimorelli podcast. Follow Cimorelli on Spotify and subscribe on YouTube. You can also find Cimorelli on Facebook and Instagram.